All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay. Today's conversation is about Samsung. Now, you see I have the OnePlus Open here because, honestly, folks, I think that the OnePlus Open pretty much came along and just kind of took over the perception of foldable devices in the United States. There are plenty of other foldable devices throughout the world, but I live in the United States and we don't have as many options. If we want to get a really premium folding device, we have to import it, buy it from an outside source. We can't get it here locally, so to speak. So OnePlus came along and they brought the heat with this device right here, man. I mean, they genuinely brought the thunder. They did their thing. And so this video is about Samsung, though. Is Samsung going to really succeed with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold6? So this is my Fold 5. And folks, listen, this isn't a video to trash Samsung. This is a video to bring awareness. Awareness. As someone who decided to stop trading in all his devices, any opportunity I got not to trade in a device, I'm just not going to trade it in. I'm not going to throw that money out the window anymore. So if there's an opportunity when I can not trade in, I think I'm going to take it. I know I'm going to take it, which is why I still have multiple versions of the same device just the next year, the next iteration. And it just shows that they don't change enough to warrant regular consumers to switch. So if you have a device like the S23 Ultra or even the S22 Ultra, don't switch to the S24 Ultra. Yeah, that's just the logical thing to do. You're not out here searching anyway. You may see the infotainment, the infomercials. You might see that stuff and you might be intrigued by it. But leave that to people like myself and other people who buy all this stuff to be the guinea pigs and the test dummies, because ultimately that's what we are. If we're spending our own money on it and we come back and report to you, hey, it's really good, but I really don't think you should buy it yet because you still have the whatever. So sometimes a switch to the next generation is warranted, and that's just what it is. The current generation was just not good enough, and you're going to get so much more than I'll go ahead and tell you. But for something like the Z Fold 6, which isn't here yet, there's a lot of rumors about it. There's a lot of things about it that, we just don't know what's going to happen until we actually get it. But I've actually given my thoughts on how it probably should go. And I talked about it in the video I did for the Z Flip 5 and the Z Flip 6. I think they're going to move to this design officially. This is a much better design. I'm recording with the Galaxy S24 Ultra, and this is my S24 Plus. This design is absolutely great. It's a phenomenal. Can you imagine a folding device with this design? The Z Flip 6, if it has this design, it's going to be great, and it'll probably be some major improvements on the Z Flip 6. But how can they capitalize with the Fold? The only thing they can do is move to this design and do some slight changes. Will it really succeed? We have no clue. We don't know. This is just a discussion video. That's all this is. And I don't want any product to fail. I want it to be a hit. But the reality is, once OnePlus came out with this folding device, folks, it shut down this theory that Samsung had the best folding devices from where I sit. Seeing as though I own a ton of folding devices. And my Z Flip 5, still killer, love it. Waiting for the Z Flip 6. I'm actually more excited about the Z Flip 6. And then my Pixel Fold. Phenomenal product. Just phenomenal. Just great products right here. However, the Z Fold 6, and I take the Pixel Fold and the Flip 5 for regular, just full-time throttle. If I had to use them like every day for a year straight, I would definitely use all of these more than this. I love this device. I love it. But after feeling these form factors, especially the Pixel Fold, this form factor right here has got to change. They need to do something completely different. They're going to have to. They don't have a choice. Now, it's more than just software at this point because everything is streaming, everything is about the software, but we need to see some major hardware improvements from Samsung. They've been kind of just floating along, chilling, nothing, not doing much really when it came to the folding game, just making a number bump and making a slight change. They have to change this design, at least make it look like I said, like the 24 lineup. And it really would be nice. It would be a real blessing if they made it a little bit shorter and a little bit wider. I'm all for this form factor, folks, but it's getting a little dated. This is the 5th generation, and they're staying with this. And yeah, Apple can do it. Some other companies can do it, but it's not working for me anymore with Samsung. Samsung has great trade-in products or trade-in values. And so that helped me in the beginning to be more keen to say, okay, maybe I'll go ahead and grab that. But that's played out. It's not just about the trade-ins anymore. I'm willing to pay the price of the device with just my military discount and government discount if I get one on certain products, and then any other discounts and just pay for it outright, than to trade in great devices that I can follow up with later on down the line. Yeah. As a creator, I want to have as many in my collection as possible to reference them. That is what I like to do. Most creators, not influencers, most creators want the products. We would rather have the products. It's not so much about the money all the time and getting a bunch of revenue. It's about having the products at your disposal. So I can reference back, hey, oh man, I got that. Let me use it for a week. Let's see how it's holding up. Yeah, I'm giving like 7-year updates on devices that are still in pristine condition and that I've used over the years. I want to do that with the Fold lineup. I think the Fold lineup deserves a little bit better treatment because, say all you want, the only thing that hinders the Flip series from them is probably battery. Okay, it doesn't have wireless decks or plug-in decks, but when they add that, and don't you think that there's a reason they're not adding it to this? Typically, the phones that cost a little bit less are some of the ones that you really should be considering. Like this foldable phone is actually for the masses, not the Fold 5. This is the stereotypical phone that I would recommend to the masses, period. It's much better build quality. You got all these limited versions of it, and you have that for this as well. But I just think that this is the more traditional, realistic way to get people into folding phones. And Samsung is dropping the ball on that. They let Motorola come in and make a phenomenal device. Then they came back after the fact and made this one. Big mistake. They're not capitalizing on what they should be doing. So the Fold 6, whatever it looks like, honestly, folks, I think we all know what the UI is going to be like. I think people are now starting to shift back to hardware. That's just my take on it. And you can hear it in the conversations that people make. Man, they're going to have to do something with this. They're going to have to do something with that. The OnePlus, this, folks, this phone right here is like gold. This thing is incredible. Yeah, the camera bump is a little ginormous, but taking into consideration what it can do, that's not just a ginormous camera bump. That is a functional camera bump. Very, very high quality video and photos come out of this thing. And while it's not all the way for the portrait video, it doesn't have 4K portrait video. It's going to come. OnePlus decided to flex on everybody and say, well, we don't even really need to bring anything else out, at least not this year, because this product is still it. I think I've seen so many creators not influencers, because there's a difference. I've seen a lot of creators start to really speak up and say, you know what, OnePlus really, if they didn't make another one for another year, it still is going to probably be better than what Samsung is doing. Definitely. This hardware, I mean, Samsung fans, you can say what you want. I'm a true Samsung fan. I've purchased nearly every Samsung product that has come out. I spent the money on them. I've done the research before buying. I've just put my time into this phone content creation thing, and I've learned to take a more realistic approach. The more and more I do content, the more realistic my approach becomes. Because if you listen to me, I've gradually now stopped trade. I'm not going to tell you not to trade in, but I've decided I can save more money by just keeping it. I'll sell it later if I need to, or I'll give it its lifespan and pass it on to a family member. That is what I've been doing recently, passing things on to family members. All these phones and smartwatches, if something breaks, here you go. Here's a brand new one. I've got more than enough. Yeah. This phone right here, though, folks, as we keep on topic, this phone is better. I think this is the best foldable device in the United States right now. And yes, the Z Flip is my favorite, like regular style folding. But if you want a top tier fold into a tablet device, this is it. It is not the Z Fold anymore. The Z Fold used to hit so hard. And listen, I'm not saying the Z Fold is a trash device now. I'm saying they need to step it up and compete now. Looking at these two devices, everything about this one is just better. Minus the video quality in some areas, but other than that, this is a complete package. And then, folks, if you think about this phone is now what, a couple $100 off or something like that, $300 off, and they're doing trade-ins. They're not stupid. They're launching this device now even more. They're pushing it more that it's time for a new version of this one to come out. And in all honesty, folks, you know, I don't know what I'm going to do about the Z Fold6, but I know I'm buying the Z Flip 6. That's the truth. That's the truth. I'm buying the Z Flip 6 regardless. But I don't know what I'm going to do about the Z Fold 6. I don't know if I'm going to be into it or not, man. So I'm really hopeful that they bring the thunder. The S24 Ultra is a phenomenal. The S24 Plus, phenomenal. I mean, just looking at this for a second. Samsung, it's time for something new. The material on here, this is, okay, listen, I can't stress it enough. I don't hate this phone. I want more. You should too. You've been spending 5 generations of this, and I know some of you guys have bought every generation. You bought 5 of the same phone, expensive, and they took away everything. Now all you get is a phone in the box. At some point, you're going to have to assemble your own phone. It's not going to give you anything. They're going to put a screwdriver in the box and make you put together your own phone. Maybe unboxings will become fun again. But not having a charger in the box, a charging brick, I should say. Just putting a cable in there, not giving a case. OnePlus stepped up to the plate and they knocked it out the freaking park. Everything about this is better than my Z Fold 5. So the Z Fold 6, you see the unboxing here on this channel, it better freaking come with it. It better come with it. I've said it before, take it up to this design element. And you know what I mean. Give it the flat size. Make it a titanium version or something. Even the Pixel needs to step their game up. I got a case on it, but even I've said it about Google. They don't get a pass. They need to get rid of this design now. It's time. I think this design is super dated. Beautiful. But then when this came along, it's a wrap. So in ranking these designs, hold on a second. In ranking these designs, this is how I rank them. Like as far as comfort, what I like about it, 1, 2, 3. I thought I would never put Samsung at the bottom of the list for one of their folding devices, but I am. And just for reference, to me, this is still, I can't get my words together. This is one of the most beautiful, slept on products for hardware. It's too bad that there's no new version of it just like this with just one little bit of camera on the back. This thing was way ahead of its time. Oh, it works. And I use it. I pop my SIM card in here from time to time and use it. This is still, I like this better than this device. Now that they've both matured, there's another version of this, but I don't like the second version of this because you can't fold it all the way open like this. It's got a big bump right there. Now, I have a case on. I think someone's pointing that out. With the bumper case on, even this still closes pretty flat, but without the bumper case, it goes completely flat. That is what I like about this device. It is a freaking Surface. It needs to represent Surface, and it does. And I'm disappointed that Microsoft as well dropped the freaking ball. This should have been a Windows mobile device. Stupid Microsoft, what's wrong with you? Oh, man, such a missed opportunity. Samsung, folks, they better bring it. They better bring it. They don't have a freaking choice. They've done right by us up to this point. I'm not going to knock them and say they're not a bad company at all. I love them. I still support. Listen, you know how much money I've dumped into Samsung? I mean, I still have nearly all of my devices now because I'm done trading in, losing money. And the collection phase is going to have some, more higher end devices in it. I've got a lot of phones, folks. I got a ton of them. And some of them are brand in the box sealed. I have multiple of the same device. I don't want to open it. Not that I'm trying to sell it. It's just a collectible. Yeah. So Samsung, I know you're not going to see this. You're not listening to me. I'm just some dude on the internet posting about your company and about your devices that I'm buying your devices though. So you don't owe me anything, Samsung. Love your products, but you have got to make a change. It is time to do something different with this hardware. It has to come. Apple is not off the hook either. They need to bring something new. They've got to. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Comment down below. Do you think that the next version of the Samsung folding device, this bigger version right here, the Z Fold, whatever, is going to succeed? Be honest. I'll see you in the comments. Take care.